Good evening. How are you today? Tonight. I have I recorded this topic since I cannot discuss it on our class period. So my apology, and I want you to learn and watch this video as it will guide you to the topic that I could not be able to discuss in the face to face. So hold on, focus, and relax. Now, the topic that I am sharing to you is the human person. This human person by itself is a very central focus of philosophy. In fact, there is this quote from Cicero, and for him, I like so much this statement, and this is always remind me that I have a big responsibility of the world that I am living in, which is the reality. Now let us focus on the statement that is defining man. He define man, he expresses man as it is. So let us focus, let us evaluate and analyze what is the statement that is going to tell us. Okay, we read together. A person is given birth to contemplate the world, to reflect and to act according to it. A person isn't perfect, but he is part of perfection. With this statement, what will be your personal understanding of what is in the statement is all about? With the statement of Cicero, there are three categories or three ideas that he is expressing, that he is wanted to portray. He's wanted to tell us who man is. So these are the three categories or ideas under the statement of his quotation about the image of man. So there are three, since first is the purpose of existence. With the statement, second, that he emphasizes human imperfection. And the third one is connection to perfection. Get it? So let me focus on the purpose of existence. Why he is telling us his purpose of existence? Because a person, human being, is given birth. So the fact of giving birth, he exists himself. So what's the purpose of being birth? What's the purpose that he exists in this world? The praise itself, a person is given birth to contemplate the world. It suggests that humans are endowed uh, with the capacity for thought, thinking. No? Aside from thought, thinking, is the capacity of reflection. At the same time, understanding. And it's very clear on the praise. Okay? He's endowed with the capacity of thought. Because as you contemplate, you think, you thought. It's a thought. Then, reflection. It's another term of contemplation. So we need to reflect. As we exist, as I exist, I need to reflect what's the purpose of being here. Okay? So, we continue. Now, this thought reflection, and understanding. It aligns with the idea that the purpose of human life includes seeking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the world around them. This is what I always ask to you. Man is seeking for wisdom or knowledge. And that and how does it started by seeking? As man seek, he tried to ask, and as you ask, there you want to find something. And this something, this emphasizing here, is the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the world around them, around man. That's why the purpose of existence is to reflect, to think, understand, and finding, searching for wisdom and understanding. As I told you, wisdom is greater than knowledge because wisdom for the Greek, it's the right application of one's knowledge. And we know that by knowledge, in knowledge, you can gain knowledge by using your capacity, ability to think. Human as we have the capacity to come up with knowledge by just seeking into it. You can search knowledge according with the base of your own way of making attaining it. And with that, we move to another higher form, which is the wisdom. It's the application of one's knowledge. That's why it's very deep with this statement. It's very deep meaning of man's existence. Then the second category of Cicero's statement is that human imperfection. It is clear in the statement that man isn't perfect. So, with this statement, it includes human imperfection, which means not perfect. Having this characteristic of human imperfection, it asserts, it concludes that a person isn't perfect, but acknowledges the inherent flaws and limitation within humanity. So to think, human as we are, there is a certain limits. Man is limited. And with this being limited, this is what makes man not this is what makes man imperfect, which means he is not perfect. Okay. So there is a limitation within humanity. That's why man is not perfect. And it reflects the recognition that while humans strive for ideals, human as we are strive for life, strive for something, they often fall, okay, as we go forward, it often fall to the short due to their imperfection. Because as we go forward, we wanted to become someone, there we can recognize that along the way, we fall on a short due of imperfection. And with this imperfection, there are virtues and weaknesses. So, man's imperfection is having a virtues and weaknesses. And with these virtues and weaknesses, he has limit because he is not perfect. But by the use of these virtues, this is the way how man reflect. This is how man think. So that's the point wherein Cicero wanted to imply in the statement, with this statement that he's saying, that he's telling to us about human existence. But first is the purpose of existence. As man exists, man is not perfect. because of those limitations that I'm talking about a while ago. Now, okay, so there is this virtues and weaknesses with an imperfection that man acknowledges. That's why we should accept that we are limited. Okay. Now, for the third category, which is the meaning of this statement, is connection to perfection. It is very clear that man, as we are, is not perfect. But with this being imperfect, we should know, for your information, that with this imperfection, this is connected to perfection. Because perfect is, dili na siya ma-perfect, but is subject to imperfection. Why? Perfect naman siya dan. Whereas man is imperfect. He is subject to perfection. Gets niya? Kung pag-istorya, ang dili kumplito, ang dili hingpit kay in Bisaya, perfection means hingpit, no? The wholeness. No? Man is imperfect. With this imperfection, it is girded towards, it is connected to become perfect. That's why connection, imperfection is connected to perfection. You know? Well, padung pa man siya, di pa man siya perfect. So, his subject, qualified siya nga ma-perfect. That's the point. Okay? So, the idea that he is part of perfection, I think that man is not perfect, but he is part of perfection, it implies, it means that even though individuals themselves are not perfect, they are part of greater whole. So, imperfect, but this man is part of the greater whole that embodies, what do you embodies? That connect, that connect, that unites, no? That embrace the ideals of perfect order. So as we experience, the order is not perfect, but with this imperfection, it implies, it understood, it concludes that being individual, which is not perfect, is a part of the greater whole that embodies, that embraces, that unites the ideas of perfect order. So, padung siya nga to perfect order. Hindi man siya perfect. Okay? And with the suggestion that universal truth, okay, moral perfection, or the divine. So, ang i-mention ganina nga higher order that embodies perfect order is towards, it is being defined as the universal truth, the moral perfection, or the divine, which means God, the divinity, God. That's why God is perfect, and man who is being that exists in this world, made by God Himself, are imperfect, but they're subject towards the perfection. So, universal truth, moral perfection of the divine. And this could reflect that Cicero believed there is a higher moral order or the natural law that governs human behavior and society. Ano bang even chaos kaya ang society? Pero with this chaosness, nagya po'y nag-control, nagya po'y nag-govern, which is the higher order that he himself believing, which that this is includes that the natural law, it's the law of nature that governs human behavior, man, and society. So na siya ay nag-control. Tawagan na niya, it's the natural law. It's the moral order. Okay? So, as we see it holistically overall, the statement encapsulates encapsulates a philosophical view that emphasizes the importance of reflection. And it's the importance of reflection because man to reflect and to act according to it. So the world, which is full, is vast of good things. And with this situation, man should reflect. That's why reflection is a very important, no, in accepting human imperfection. So I should reflect, I should think nga di man jud ko perfect. With this, it acknowledges that with that reflection, with that realization, we we should humbly accept that man is not perfect. Okay? It's an acceptance of human imperfection and the connection of higher ideal or perfection. And with this moral perfection, it pursuit, it aims of the meaning of life. Again, as having the higher perfection, which is to continue the meaning of life. This is the very reason why Cicero invited for a certain moral and ethical living, drawing of rationality and virtue of the human experience, because man is exists. He was born to contemplate and reflect. So man should govern. Man should utilize. Man should care. That's why man is very important subject matter in philosophy. So that's my take. Okay. So proceed. Man is important subject in philosophy. So this is just a summary on the statement on the definition of Cicero towards man. Man is an important subject in philosophy. And numerous studies, a lot of studies, no, searching and discussion define the human nature of humanity and the human person because our topic is human person. Okay. So, next slide please. John test my test one. Okay. Focus on the question. Okay. Again, let's focus on the question. Because everything starts with a question. Why we know why philosophers able to say that there is this natural world? Because of that question, it started in two from Thales, because Thales is considered the first philosopher. By his question regarding natural world, there are a lot of answers came. That's why focus. How does philosophy view the nature of man? How man having its nature and how philosophy view about his nature. Second, how does philosophy define the human person? Next slide. How does philosophy view the nature of man? Okay. So man, speaking of man, the idea of man is a general term which is commonly used to refer to the entire human race. So kibali, kumingin kag man, it's a general or universal idea in the sense nga may kag man, tao, there is no gender at all. no age as long as this man. That's why man is in general term, but in English, man is different meaning. Man is one boy, but outside English, other field of disciplines, the idea, the concept of man is a general term. To simplify it in Bisaya, that's tao. Kaming kag tao, gamay pa siya, 1 year old, belong siya sa tao. Kay general man siya. Okay? How about human? The idea human. It refers to man as species. Ano sa species? Kinds. No? And this kind, species, the word human as a species, it's it's a Latin word which means Homo sapiens sapiens, which means modern human beings. Anong modern human beings naman siya? Okay, it's not man siya related sa previous nga katong man gikan sa primate, but it's a modern man. Anong modern man? Human being, because as time moves on, we are now on the contemporary. And this contemporary is also a product of modern period. That's why human, the idea, the concept of human refers to man as a species. As a species, it is called Homo sapiens sapiens or modern man. How about person? And we know that man is a general, human is a modern man. No? It's a product of those periods like the Stone Age, but man becomes modern because of the time period. How about person? Person is a much complex term which generally refers to human being. Tingnan ta, man, human. But here, person is so complex. It's a complicated term that generally refers to the human being. So the concept is human being. Granted recognition of certain rights. So speaking of person, okay, you are called as human being. At the same time, you should recognize of a certain rights. As you do in the society, you have certain rights. Also, you have protection and responsibility. And the best thing here is responsibility. Unang it is connected to sa gingo ni Cicero. Okay? So, philosophy viewed by the nature of man as man. Human, which is referred to the modern human beings. Person is referring to a human being, granted nga he himself recognize of a certain rights. So now they just rights. And with this right, how will you do? And aside having certain rights, you have the capacity of protection and being responsible. That's how Cicero is defining man. Okay? Now, in the biological perspective, because we view as human, now, man, human, man, human, what's the other term? Man, human, o person. Okay? So, biologically perspective, in the concept, we're focusing here on man. No? In the concept of biological perspective, scientific perspective, man is defined as part of the natural world and a product of evolution. Take note, evolution, which means it's a gradual, it's a change from time to time. It's not abrupt, but it's a matter of time period. Okay? So, modern man is known as Homo sapiens sapiens, as considered as successfully adapted species on the planet. Again, successfully adapted species on the planet. Because, anong successful man siya? Look at those animals. Nirelate ba siya sa karon nga period? Wala. Even ang mga tamaraw, ang mga kabaw, sa modern karon ni-adapt ba sila? But still, nagpabilin sila silang nature. That's why, in the biological perspective, this modern man, which is Homo sapiens sapiens, are considered one of the most successfully adapted species on the planet. So, successful siya nga ni-adapt as a kind entity in this planet. So closely, it's related to primates. You know what is primates? The apes, but have developed distinct physical features such as bipedalism. Again, ang atong characteristic, same ra kay part man sa nature, no? Same ra with those mga primates. Yeah, pinakadol ka ng ape, no? Chimpanzee. But with this nature that is related to the primate, man have developed distinct features. Okay? And this distinct features is called bipedalism. From the word bi, which means two. Mulakaw siya, duha lang kapaang gamiton. Unlike the other animals, 4, 6, or 10, or 100. But how come, human as we are, ning barog, balance mulakaw? And that's make man successfully adapted species on the planet. Yan, sa may pag-adapt nga layo man kayo, manang nasiya sakyanan. So again, in the concept of science, which is biological perspective, man is part of the natural world. The natural world, the world that we're living, part na. And with this part, is a product of evolution. Because it changes, it evolves. Man as we are, is still evolving. Okay? So, man is part of the natural world. Good thing lang kay, duha naman katila tong ilakaw. At the same time, may develop ang atong hands. Okay? Develops ang hands because of this thumb. And with this thumb, able to hold something. Then, can involve man siya, so mo na siyang develop hands, smaller jaws and teeth compared to the primates, and larger, more developed brains. So, ning dako-dako atong brain, yan in more developed compared those primates. So, gagmay ra, no? Then, as part of biological perspective, the way it is defined, man also shared with the animals called primal instinct, which is part of this primal instinct mo ng survival and reproduction. Diba? Mo survive with that. Then, man progresses and develop additional traits aside from survival and reproduction. What are these? Traits and capabilities nga nasa tao. Planning and intention action. Plan and intention action. Mga nakapahuli develop sa tao. Nung ni-hire siya. No? It's progress and develop in traits and capabilities like planning and intention action. Innovation and creativity. Man able to create. Communication through language and writing. We're the only entity, living being in this world, na mogamit sa language through writing. Dogs, animals, they communicate, but they never use writing. Tendency, mag-sep-sep na sila. Basta kung kasway kayo, wala man said ko na mananap. Pero again, they communicate, but the way they communicate is very different to us. Like, how we communicate. Istorya. Mag-express sa iyang idea. Okay? So, man is a symbolic interaction as evidenced by religion and art. Relate siya sa nature. The development of culture is considered man's most significant achievement. Man creates culture, and this culture is considered as man's most significant achievement. Having a brain, having an intention to do action, having the characteristic of innovating and creating rather. So, and man creates culture. This is what makes man considered as the most significant achievement, which sets apart the evolution of humanity from other species of this planet. Okay? Slide please. In the psychological perspective, okay, the psychology, okay, it emphasizes on human behavior and thought process of analyzing human nature. So given the thought of process analyzing of human nature, with this, man possesses mental faculties. These faculties are the power, the agent, and these mental faculties makes man possesses awareness. With this awareness that you have, this is the part of the concept of psychology wherein man possesses mental faculties. And with these mental faculties, here we are, muna siyang it possesses awareness. Okay? So, mental faculties, capabilities of man. Okay? The mental faculties and capabilities of man. What is this? It's the psyche. What is psyche? It's a Greek word. Refers to the human mind. And it is divided as the consciousness. Okay? It's divided into conscious and unconscious. Again, conscious and unconscious. So, conscious mind is the part which govern awareness. Kaya nag-mention lagi, in a psychological perspective, man has the mental faculties and capabilities, which is the psyche. Okay? This is what makes man conscious and unconscious. Now, speaking of conscious mind, is the part of which govern awareness. You are very aware of it, of what you're doing. Therefore, it governs the awareness. How about the unconscious mind? It consists of latent or repressed emotions, thought, and desire. The unconscious mind. Kaya kami kag unconscious, patay na. But the unconscious mind is a repressed emotion. There's a lot of emotion there, thoughts and desire. Nana siya sa unconscious mind. Mukalit na siya o kanang gawas, di ka kabantay, nga bati siya. Pero part man na sa imong pagka-human nature. Now, continuation with the psychological perspective, man has the characteristic of rationality or the state of being reasonable. Di ba? Marason yun ang tao. Okay? And his ability is to understand experiences in order to solve problem. Do tasks. Di ba? Kanang mag-solve mo sa inyong prikal sa gen ed. So there are certain tasks to do, to solve. And with that problem or do tasks, man also engage decision making and judgment. Take note, decision making and judgment are different. Decision making involves judgment? Is judgment involves decision making? Which is which? But man is having the characteristic of rationality. What's the rationality? The state of being reasonable. The ability to understand experiences in order to solve problems or do tasks. Now, what's the difference between the infant and the adult? Okay. The infant pa kanang gamayng bata o adult. Kaya mo siya ang connected with the rationality. No? To solve problem tasks and engage in decision making and judgment. So dili pa siya fully equip rather. But here, having rationality, which is the second aspect of man received, no, in the psychological perspective, we proceed to the third. It's the intelligence or the ability to perceive information. This is what makes man unique because of this being given gifts, and these gifts is the ability to perceive information. Mabisag di mo kaila, makadungog lang kaminaw ka na kay idea na concept. But still, it's an opinion. Okay? So, intelligence or ability to perceive information. Okay? Store knowledge and apply in the various situations. Yes, sa tao. That's why, aside from intelligence or ability, man is also given a certain blessings from the designer, which is the God. Okay, with this idea, introspection. Intelligent na ka, rational. Move lang ka sa point rin introspection or the ability to examine one's own consciousness, thoughts, feelings, and mental state, and the capacity for self-reflection. Okay, self-reflection. This is the concept of human according to psychological perspective. How about economic perspective? Again, what I try to express ganina, okay, it's all about biological, it's scientific, it's science. Here comes economic perspective. Those economic perspective also connected with the thing which is real, actual, no? Is economic perspective kay dako ba siya impact sa society, no? So the concept, the idea of economic perspective is that economics itself subject, it focuses on one's ability to engage productive activities in effort to meet his wants and needs. Mo nang trabaho. Because the purpose is to engage to become productive. And an activity, work, effort para ma-achieve ang mga needs sa family. Okay. Then in another concept of economic perspective, man is being emphasized, okay, defined as the economic of man. Okay, what is the economic of man? Homo economicus. Okay, and this movement is driven towards rationality and self-interest in his desire to possess wealth. Mogamit jud ka og intelligence para maka-achieve ka. Kaya nga naman, ang economic perspective is more the business. No? Na pointer is, bang the currency is connected with the trend or the output, but here comes, the author is saying that economic perspective is the ability to engage productive activities in an effort to meet his wants and needs. Now, at this time, what are these things that make you busy? Okay. But the definition of economic man, Homo economicus, is driven by the rational and self-interest in his desire to possess wealth. So, ganahan sa mo gamit og sa may gamiton rationality and self-interest in his desire to possess with it. So, Yung consider man as productive. His primary role is to produce and engage. Okay? And being in the concept of engage and labor, okay, let me repeat, Cicero considers man as productive, being his primary role to produce and engage in labor. Pero what is this labor? No? Mo niyang siyang product. Man should be productive. Okay? So, man considers as productive being in the concept of economics. His primary role is to produce and engage labor. Can you imagine that? To produce and engage labor. So labor means work, output, product. Okay. So, in this perspective, man's economic processes are considered as greater influence on the action of man than society or culture. So, dako siya impact sa society. Then, teleological perspective. Okay. In the concept of divinity, it's divine. It's the Ginoo. It's the langit. But then again, theological perspective considered man as God's creation. Tinod ba? Man is created, God's creation. He is considered to have a special relationship. Okay? And with the creature, you are being bound by God as He create, parsing design, yapil ka. Then, you were clothed with something para ang image sa pagka-immortal spirit nga naa sa sulod matangtang. Because man's existence was brought about by the purposive. What do you mean by purposive? It exerts force. Okay? Now, creative act of God. So, every now and then, you come up with creating statement or scenario towards the act of God and to the divine. And this ultimate destiny is part of a divine plan. So, divine plan na nagtigaw. Continue. How does philosophy define human person? Philosopher ponder upon the concept of human person and what makes him her a distinct entity. Take note, distinct, kakaiba siya nga existence or the being. Human person refers to the individual and all that attributes and characteristics that set him or her apart from other human beings. Okay, which is it's a concept that relate to the idea of human person as a self. Okay, human person are the self identity to personhood. Yeah, next slide please. Okay, how does philosophy defines the human person? How does philosophy? Okay, one of the most unique traits of human is the awareness of self. More pinaka-importante nga, you're aware of yourself. That you do this because you will it, because you know it. No? Okay, awareness of self. Like, kung something awareness of self, no? Ano akong i-highlight? Okay. The awareness of the self. Like all other animals, human beings possesses sentience. Okay, what does it mean? Sentience. The ability to feel and experience. Okay, the ability to feel and experience. Then, sentience is often seen us the ability to get back what is there in the ground, in the mud and the mm, streets, no? But again, sentence the ability to perceive surroundings. Kung diha sa nakatulog, kaya parang na safe naman, bisag walay suga, pero naman sila sa asiras. Because that's how man as he is, napag-ipon siya awareness, napag-ipon siya consciousness rather. Okay? So, we call it time or not? No, it's not yet. No? Proceed ta. Okay, proceed ta. Okay, we'll continue. One of the most unique traits of one is the awareness of the self. No? Like other animals, human beings possesses sentience. What do you mean by sentience? The ability to feel and experience. Human as we are, with this experience that we have, we know, because of this consciousness, we know what is in the world. That's why sentience, man as sentience, which is the awareness of self, is the ability to perceive surroundings and react to stimulus such as pain. No? Unang masakitan siya. And this pain is under ni siya sa concept nga. What is that? Pain. O ba niya kay pleasure? What idea is this belong? In the emotion? Is it emotion? It's the feeling. It's pain. No? However, we humans not only experience, okay, experience and react to the world around us. Okay? Di lang kayo mo reacta, but we're able to look into ourselves and aware of our distinctnness and uniqueness. So various views addresses the issue regarding the self have proposed certain views as its nature. So self as sentience, here the self is innate. Okay? The self is innate. What does it mean? It's very important part of the human beings. And at the same time, ang self-awareness is natural and innate. So, the word innate means inborn. So, self itself is very important part, no, innate, part of human being because this being self as innate is an inborn. It's a natural of man's awareness, of man's capacity to react. So, in the religious perspective, uh, the self as innate is considered as a concept of self as synonymous to the spirit or soul. Ano ang nasa tao. Okay? So, man, the self as innate, here comes also man as the self as emergent. The word here is emergent. What does it mean? Views that self is gained through interaction. Okay? The experiences you can have knowledge with this interaction with the world and the other human beings. That's why that self, aside from sentience, no? Aside from something that is what do you call it? The term here is something that man makes, no, innate, no, aside from innate, it's emergent, no. Then, di ba, innate is by its nature, diba? Nature na siya. But here comes as emergent. What does it mean? It's an interaction within the world, okay, and the other. So another characteristic of man is integrated and developing. No, integrated and developing. That's the self is composed of varied elements that change over time. What are these valid elements? As integrated as developing from infanthood, okay, which is the childhood, towards the process of growing, changing, which is called ano siya ang development. And with this development, malang from childhood, it becomes adulthood, the adolescence. Okay? That's why philosophy define human person, okay, in the concept of integrated and developing. The self is closely tied with the ideas of identity and personhood. Identity and personhood. Okay? So, identity, what does it mean? It's a different personality of an individual. Ang word nga, identity. The distinct personality, imuha jud na as individual. With this individuality, personality, it composes person's unique physical characteristic. Kung siya gwapo siya, choice siya, gwapa siya, so physical characteristic. And aside from that identity, it involves mental attributes. What does mental attributes means? The mental capacity, the mental processes, then experiences, memories, ideas, and view. Man has its own view and part na sa iyang identity. So, the concept of identity is also said as the persist through time. No? Through certain aspects of it may change. So, in a matter of time. Now, aside from identity, we proceed to personhood. Personhood is the recognition of human being as a distinct entity, personhood, which means person. It's a person. Next slide, please. Various notions justify the recognition of personhood. That's why the person as autonomous being. What does it mean? It's an idea of human being which is considered as a person if he or she possesses the ability to determine his or her life through reason free choice. Again, possesses the ability to determine his life through reason and free choice. And with this, it views and assumes that man possesses reason, the reasoning, the capacity for reflection in connection with Cicero's definition of man, and the ability to engage in decision making. This is wherein mo come up ng philosophy define human person. Okay? Then, perspective determining that the legal definition of human as person is an adult. It's an adult. Next slide, please. How does philosophy define human person? Aside from personhood, here comes the person as autonomous being, no? Another one is the person as unified individual. So, may unified as a whole pero individual. It defines, it asserts that human beings has the inherent capacity to function as a person. Again, the person as unified individual, it means oh, the capacity to function as a person. Then it emphasizes the potential of the human being. Man has potential, and with this potentiality of him, he recognizes that each human possesses the means to achieve his/her capabilities, no? As unified individual. Okay. The disabled people, the unborn fetus, the infants, and the children are recognized as person, although they may not fully possesses the cognitive faculties of an adult. Kaya preso naman sila. Pero, nakuya po siya impact. Kaya lagi, it emphasizes the potential of the human being, recognizes that each human possesses the means to achieve his/her capabilities. Okay? So, continue. The person is in relation to others. In relation to others. It means that human beings becomes a person through interactions with the other human beings. Okay? So, asserts that human becomes a person through interaction with other human beings. So, removing him or her from society, okay, he or she ceases to become a person. Pag imo na siyang i-separate, na siya na lang usa, dili na sa part society, mo stop na yung pagka-person. The person, by his or her action and experiences, and through them achieve self-development. Mo lang, dapat siya with others. Kaya lagi, ang iyang action or experiences, makapahimo niyang ma-achieve self-development. Okay? Next slide, please. When does a human stop being a person? Ganyan to ganina nga, it's being said there na person in relation to others. No? Kaya, kung mabuhi siya, take note, napot siya thing which is makapahimo ba ng human person. No? Like for example niya, okay, kani. Okay. So, when does a human being stop behind being a person? Okay. There may be situation where a human being may not be recognized as a person. Situation na. Okay. Example, people suffering from debilitating conditions that impair their judgment nga lack siya og means to make decision for themselves. So, a person who suffers extensive brain damage or action, okay, or actions, because it suffers extensive brain damage or a comatose, no? So, individual may not be recognized as person, and thus the other people may be empowered to make decision making on their behalf. Hmm? So, here comes, mo stop lang pag-human as person kung na-confine na siya. Then, if that patient suffers extensive brain damage or a comatose na siya, may not be recognized as person, and thus other people may be empowered to make decisions in life. Okay, so it's vision in life, and that's the end of the slide. Thank you for reading. Bye bye.